everyone, I'm Instructor Brooks, and if you're watching this video, it's because you've subscribed to my campus and you've clicked on the Navigating the Campus button, or you're watching this on social media advertising for what's in my campus. So let's dive into what I currently have on the campus. So first thing, just a basic little information desk, tells you how to do some things, getting started on Discord. You can click that. Also, you can click over here. All my pictures, pretty much everything is clickable. One of my favorite things is just my students' toolkit, and this is an ever-growing, toolkit of strategies to learn. Besides just listening to or reading information, actual tips and strategies on how to really keep that information. So you get access to all my little strategies, like my mass, my muscle anatomy study strategy, my nerve innervation study strategy, test-taking commandments. I love these, honestly. If you don't study a thing but only do the commandments, you're automatically going to improve your grade significantly. So the first course I have, and you do not need to do these in order, is my School of Kinesiology, because I believe it is the most important regardless of your actual concentration, whether you're into personal training, physical therapist assistant, or physical therapist, or any other aspect of the healthcare profession that deals with body movement science. You gotta know this. So the first thing I dive into is the School of Biomechanic Literacy, and within the School of Kinesiology, which I think is the most important, this is the most important section of the entire thing right here. So let's just dive into one of these. Let's go to contractions. So when you open up any of my things, there's most likely going to be a video lesson that I have right here. When you scroll down underneath, you're going to get links and access to all other types of information, like an activity with the key. If I have lesson notes, I try to put those on there. And then what I call vintage videos back in the day when I was just posting stuff on YouTube. Those videos are usually a little longer and might go into sometimes more in-depth, but it just kind of explains it in a different way. So if this lesson's not working for you, then you got the old vintage lesson to go back to if you're a little more old school. So when you get out of that, then, I got all your data collections, how to do every goniometric and manual muscle test. I have all these different passive insufficiency muscles, or muscles that can be passively insufficient. Same with active. Now we start getting to the specific joints in kinesiology. So I start with the foot and ankle, but again, you don't have to go through it in the same order I do. But in the School of Kinesiology, it's broken into two parts. You have the foot and ankle foundations, and within this, it's pretty much rinse and repeat for all the joints. There's some basic things you need to know, and I have this awesome learning strategy. So it's a worksheet that takes you through each page is a different technique for trying to learn the information and keep it in your head. So you get like level 3, level 4, you got 5 levels. So 5 different strategies to really bring this information in and try to understand it. Plus it allows your instructor, or if you're an instructor, to read the cognitive code of the student. And if you don't know what that is, well, that's it. I got plenty of other stuff to talk about, but the cognitive code is the key. So anyway, back to the campus. So once they get the foundations, there's always an exam to enter into the level ups, which are real short videos that break down a very specific thing. You'll see a lot of times I'll have extra quizzes. This will take you to quizzes I've made through Google a long time ago, a little more of a vintage quiz generally. And then you got the versus the Game Master. So these are always super challenging, high level quizzes for students to see if they really and truly know the information. And under the School of Kinesiology, that's pretty much rinse and repeat all the way through. I also have stuff on gait. That is an area that I really, really focused on. And also, anytime I update information, you always get access to it if you have your subscription to the campus. I got puzzles. I got all types of things that you can do. The next school is the School of Patient Care Skills. So I have a basic beginner aspect of that with some different things. Then we go into the School of Musculoskeletal Rehabilitation. This is when you're really starting to incorporate exercise. So I go through a bunch of the theory, and then we look at some basic rehabilitation techniques. And when you get to this school specifically, let's take a look at the ankle. And then this is kind of the same thing that this will happen for all of the other classes for the most part, but you have a fill in the blank that goes along with the vocab words for the video. I talk about my flashcard study strategy. So I highly recommend students making flashcards actually by hand. And then this schedule tells you how to go through the flashcards and a quiz. And I usually accompany other data or not data, other sources that you may need to look up, options for lab if you're an instructor, other bits of information like a special test chart, and other activities to really hone in the information. So your entire ankle rehab lesson is right here. And then links to Discord, because that's the best way to contact me. So, and I do that same principle all the way through musculoskeletal rehab into neuro. I also have tons of stuff for modalities. You can see here on the left, lots of different stuff for modalities, especially focusing on those contraindications. Building a school of pathology. So right now, because musculoskeletal is the most important, that's the one I've built out. So I got rinse and repeat videos for all of the major gold standard pathologies you'll see in musculoskeletal rehab. Then in neuro, I have flashcards or fill in the blanks, lessons, fill in the blank, flashcard schedules, other different bits of information. This digital portfolio and links. This is information for a whole nother video, but basically students are going to be filming a lot of things, and I have all the playlists they need to film. This is a great way to learn, even if your instructor doesn't assign it. If you do those things, you'll be doing what I did, and that's how you learn the information. So neuro, go through all the neuropathologies. School of Cardiopulmonary Rehab, so that's just like the School of Neuro with everything that's going on. And not much for it, but I'm starting to build out a School of Clinical Education by the time of the making of this video, April 17, 2025. And then we get to the battle plan. So once you've gone through the course, or if you've just purchased the battle plan, you'll go all the way down here to Battle Plan 2.0. The most important thing is this training schedule, because it'll tell you literally everything you need to do on the day you need to do it. And everything's linkable or clickable. So it'll take you right to the lessons. If you're like, oh, jamming, what was that? Click on it. It'll take you right to the Instructabricks campus, talking about jamming, and I got all my information there. So if you don't want to scroll all the way down to the bottom, you don't have to, because you can just click on this huge picture right here. And if for some reason this picture is not here, you can always go to courses, scroll down, and see all the different stuff, get on that battle plan. Boom, there we are. So, and then my battle plan goes through specific assignments and challenges and training drills to really make you master the information. So in musculoskeletal is where I spend the most time. Plus I have practice tests so you can see how well you're doing, and I analyze the questions in the video. We got stuff for neuro. I got stuff for cardiopulm on the battle plan. And that's being built out a little bit more, but it's a smaller section, so it's really not worth spending tons of time on. It's really all about that MSK. Got tons of practice tests. I got information on wound care, stuff for like peds and reflexes, all types of stuff under my various topics. And that is a quick tutorial on what the Instructabricks campus has to offer. So if you're interested in becoming a subscriber to the Instructabricks campus, go to instructabricks.com, click on the campus in the top navigation bar, and let's get started.